Hello and welcome to this bonus episode of the Gazette's Hockey Inside Out Show. I'm Stu Cowan of the Gazette, and I'm joined by my regular partners here. You know who these guys are. Former Canadiens teammates and 1986 Stanley Cup champs, Chris Nilan and Rick Green. Well, head coach Marty St. Louis recently decided to put Zachary Bolduc on the number one line with Nick Suzuki and Caufield instead of Juraj Slafkovsky, who is now playing with Oliver Kapanen and Ivan Demidov. Rick, what did you think when you saw Marty make that move?
Well, he's trying to get the kid going. I mean, after the hot start, from the beginning of the season, he was doing a lot of things, obviously really well and scoring some goals. But he's gotten away from it a little bit as far as he's got a good shot, doesn't shoot it very often, and he doesn't get to the net like he did before. And his game is, for whatever reason, I don't know if he's doing too much thinking versus reacting. But, his game has to be get involved, get to the net, use your shot. And, Martin St. Louis is trying to get him to get back to what gave him success at the start of the year. And I can understand why. The expectations are there that he'd like to see more from him. And now it's up to him to respond, given the opportunity to play with some pretty good players. And let's not forget what gave you success before.
What do you think, Knuckles, when you saw that move?
I thought, well, listen, I think he's trying to spread it out a little, right? Instead of having Slav up on that line and have that one line that is responsible for the offense. I think he's trying to maybe do something with Demidov and Slafkovsky with Cap in the middle, Bolduc. Yeah, he come out like a house of fire. Looked like, wow, this is going to be good for this team. And it's still going to be. I think, like Greeny said, this kid's a big kid and he plays physical. He plays with an edge. And when he doesn't, he's not going to create those opportunities. He's not going to have them. So I think with those two guys, he has to play that way. He has to get in the corner. He has to get on the puck. He has to finish his checks. And, Two, maybe the coach is trying to get him going. We saw it with the goaltender, right? This coach sometimes, he pays attention to those things. Like Monty was struggling. He wanted to get him going. I say go with the hot hand. He says, I want to get Monty back in, so we're going to play him at home. And, things didn't work out so well. Now, Dobesh comes in and wins and plays a pretty good game. Along with the team, mind you, but, go with the hot hand. And, back-to-backs, you got to switch it up. I get that. But, I think he's trying to help him get going, too. And maybe that's what he needs. We'll see.
Looks like he needs to shoot the puck a little bit more, too. It's interesting, though, Slafkovsky going down at that other line, Rick, with Kapanen and Demidov. Kapanen's the oldest guy in that line at 22. Brings back memories of that old Canadiens kid line with Doug Risebrough between Yvo Lambert and Mario Tremblay. But, Marty was saying that Kapanen, even though he's so young, he plays he's such a high hockey IQ and he plays like a veteran. He said that's one of the reasons he's put him with Demidov, because he wants Demidov to still be willing to take risks with the puck, but having somebody there to back him up. Just what have you with Kapanen in that role? What's impressed you most about him, and what do you like about this kid line?
I like the group. I like the chemistry of that group, and I have to, we've spoken about Kapanen, what he brings to the team. He's a good player. He's a smart player. He gets involved. He's gonna do a lot of things well moving forward. But I have to give full marks to Slafkovsky last game. I don't know. He was on a mission. I've never seen him skate and do the things consistently well before that game. And, I'm really happy for him. And he seems to be happy with that group that he's on. And they're excited to watch and, give them some time, let them try and get a feel for each other. And great skill set with everybody. And they're going to bring it more often than not a real threat offensively.
How do you think Marty would have sold that to Slafkovsky, Knuckles? Do you think it's like, you go down, I need you on this line to help these young guys out, or is it, I want you to work your way back up there?
Yeah, I don't think he'd look like a demotion. Yeah, he probably told him, listen, I want to put you down here with these guys. With Demidov, I think there's some chemistry there. And yeah, he could have sold it that way, and that would be a good way to sell it when you think about it. You know, and I'm sure Slav at first took it as like, what? I'm going the second line? But you know what? When you're on a team like that, you need to kind of spread the wealth at times. And if Slav can go down there, create that, and have that physical presence, hang on to the puck like he's been in the corners, a little more body checking. Last game, as well as he played, he had no hits. Again, hanging on to the puck, those things are going to be key. I like to see him in front of the net on the power play.
Yeah. In
front of the net. Not on the half wall. Not in the bumper position. Corner, front of the net. Corner, front of the net. They got enough guys that are good playmakers. They don't need him on the wall. I know he's got a great shot. But, man, when he's in front of the net, the goaltenders are going to have a difficult time. He should be able to score, get a lot of rebounds, create havoc, open shit up for other guys.
Yeah, well, with Bolduc, we're mentioning he got off to a great start, 3 goals the first 3 games. He's really slowed off after that, Knuckles. The pressure of a French-Canadian kid coming here, I know that Crave series that you were featured on along with Claude Lemieux and Stéphane Richer. Richer spoke a lot about just the pressure being a French-Canadian kid playing in this market. I imagine you've spoken with Stéphane about that also. Do you think that has an impact maybe on what's happening with Bolduc?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, back then, look, there were more French guys.
Yeah.
There were more French guys, so you could kind of blend in okay. Now, if you're the 1 or 2, maybe a little more heat, but, Riche, yeah, he had pressure, but come on, he scored 50 goals yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been that bad. And then Claude Lemieux, look what Pepe did. I mean, come on. Mm-hmm. So pressure, yeah, they thrived on it. But again, you just got to go produce. You got to earn your way night in and night out, and things will be okay. If you slack off and you let that heat get to you, it's going to affect you in a negative way. So just put the blinders on, put the cotton in your ears, and go.
Rick, when you first came here from Washington, did you sense there was a little different pressure on the French guys on the team than maybe guys like yourself coming in?
Well, I think so. And, depending on the personality, each one handles it differently. Some are able to use it as motivation. Some can't deal with the pressure or couldn't deal with the pressure of being scrutinized as a local boy. But one thing will never change. It's all about when you're given the opportunity and the expectations are there that you're supposed to bring something to the team that gives you success as an individual and as a member of the team. Find a way to do it. And, if you don't want to hear criticism, you don't want to hear people commenting about your poor play, I don't care where you're from, do your job and try and live up to the expectations that have been made for you to perform and do what you do best each and every shift.
All right, well, thanks, guys. That's it for this bonus episode. We'll have one more bonus episode coming up ahead of next Wednesday's regular Hockey Inside Out show. In the meantime, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our Hockey Inside Out YouTube channel.